Hi folks, Training Tip Thursday, and today I thought I'd talk about your favorite subject, getting high. So at our Fox River Trail Runners Club banquet that we had this past February, we had a gentleman who came and talked to us, and several of you I know were at that, and he was giving his tips for how to do well in particularly the marathon, but I think it applies to all running in general. Now Dave is 63 years old or something like that. He runs like a 242, 243 marathon. He is either the top in his age group in the US or maybe the top in his age group worldwide. I mean, he's pretty well renowned, but he said, hey, if you want to do better in running, you've got to get high. So what does get high, or why does get high work, I should say? Well, it builds your aerobic base and it builds muscular endurance, both of which, of course, are really good for any distance event with helping you perform a little bit better. But I think sometimes when people hear, well, hey, I want to get high, I want to increase the mileage, or, look at people who are doing these 80 and 100-mile weeks, what does that look like? That doesn't necessarily mean it's the right thing for you. I will tell you in general, I am a fan of higher mileage, but there's some parameters that you have around that. So first, if you're doing a 90-mile week and you're Dave Walters, you're maybe doing a 6-minute pace. That's maybe a little bit fast. Maybe he's a little bit slower than that. But say the elites, they're probably averaging a 6-minute pace because that's their easy run. Let's face it, they're doing marathons at a 4:30 or 4:20 pace per mile for 26 miles. So if they're doing a 90-mile week at a 6-minute per mile pace, that's 9 hours of running for the entire week. Now, if you have a 10-minute pace, and I know some of you are a little faster than that, some a little bit slower than that, that would be 15 hours. There's a huge difference in the amount of time that you're going to have available. So part of what's going to restrict you for how many miles you can get is just purely going to be your pace, because I don't know that I want anybody running 15 hours a week. Even if you had the time or desire, that's just a heck of a lot of time on your feet. So things that you should be considering is first and foremost, what can your life handle? In general, when you're talking about the people that are doing these 80 to 100-mile weeks, they've got a lot of free time on their hands. Maybe no kids, maybe they're retired. They've got a lot of time on their hands to be able to do that. But it's got to fit into your life, because if you're running the miles and they're under duress, they're really not good miles. And the other factor is, well, what can your body handle? Because nobody goes to high mileage without years of building up to that. I'll typically peak around 50 miles a week sometime in the summer with the fall endurance training program. And I'll tell you, if I get to 55, I can kind of feel the creaking. Now, if I had the desire, and I don't, if I had the desire to be doing 60, 70 miles per week, I could certainly build up to that over a period of time, but I don't really have the desire to be doing that, because in the end, the real balance you have to find is, what's the difference between the joy of running and making it a job? And if there's a point where those miles are saying, it's becoming another job for me, and you're losing the joy of running, then you're really better off to do fewer miles. So as much as I'm a fan of high mileage, it does build aerobic base, it does build aerobic endurance, it's got to fit for you in your life. So never lose the joy of running while you're getting high.